What's up, everybody? Bluegabe. Today we're doing something on this channel that we've never done before. But first, I gotta give a huge shout out to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. Now, where we're headed is a place that can be a little bit controversial on YouTube, but to me, it's part of life. We're going to a butcher shop, Big Ed's Butcher Shop in West Palm Beach, to be exact. He's gonna show us exactly how he takes an entire hog and processes it up into edible packages. We're gonna take it from the raw meat. He's gonna cut shoulder steaks, ham steaks, hamburger meat, sausage, and vacuum seal it. And when we leave there, we'll have that entire hog wrapped up, ready to put in our freezer and enjoy for a long time. But I have skipped a couple processes. So we're in Clewiston, Florida, which is on the south end of Lake Okeechobee, on a good friend of mine, Buddy's ranch. It's about 3,000 acres. Me, Kelly, Luke, Jake, Lowell Roberts, Brian Prescott, Buddy Spotswood, bunch of good people. And we're riding around on this giant swamp buggy looking for big wild hogs. Now, the first day we got there, we actually got there right before dark. We got on my new side-by-side, which I sold my airboat to buy the side-by-side. So don't think I bought more toys. I didn't add anything to my collection. I actually did add, but I got rid of the airboat. Just not really suitable for what we do. So I do have to say, we got rid of the airboat. But we did collect a new side-by-side because my kids are addicted to hog hunting. So we jumped on it, started riding around the ranch with the spotlights, and ended up jumping a huge bar hog, which is a male that doesn't have his testicles anymore. They've been cut off when he was younger, and now he got really big and fat because he's not breeding. Literally all he thinks about is eating and eating some more. So we caught this hog with nothing more than my little 22 Magnum pistol in the side-by-side, but I didn't film any of it. We didn't even think we would see one. What we did film though is my son Jake's first hog with a crossbow. So we were riding on a swamp buggy across a big open pasture that has about waist-high switchgrass in it, and some palmettos and scattered oak trees, when we spot this big boar underneath a tree about 180 yards away. And we were gonna shoot it first with the rifle, and then I talked myself out of that and said, let's get the crossbow and go on foot. So y'all watch this, and when we get back, we're gonna be at Big Ed's Butcher Shop, and I'm gonna show y'all how they do it from start to finish.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna shoot this one, you can shoot the next one.
He's laying down. He laid down. Smoked.
Smoke
City.
Smoke City with the crossbow. Did you see the blood coming out of that thing?
He's going down right there,
right
boys.
There. 40 yards with the crossbow. He's the first one who's killed anything with this crossbow. You smoke, and he was laying down.
There is the rangefinder.
That thing
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a big boar down.
Big boar.
What'd you say about that, Jakester?
That's pretty cool. Free-handed him with the crossbow.
Free-handed?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What was
That
he, 35 yards?
No, exactly 40. He
40?
free-handed him in a 20
Laying down under the oak tree. Smoked him.
So the wind's blowing from our right to our left hard. I knew he had to shoot through some of this switchgrass. He poured the coals to him. I have shot, I shot out a deer in Alabama with it, didn't kill it. We broke 2 of them before we ever even got to shoot one. He's the first confirmed kill. I could see the blood pouring out of him.
He didn't go far.
Bad.
You smoked him, buddy.
Smoke City. 2-blade rage in the cage. Here comes our ride. Captain Buddy, Kelly riding shotgun. Little Lukey.
It feels like a lot more rewarding because it was like a bow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Smoked.
40 yards free-handed with a crossbow. Yeah.
Smoked him.
I don't know how, because blood's squirting out of him like you can fall.
He must have fell, so I watched him run up to his head and I put my rifle up and he just watched him run up to his.
So as y'all already know, we can't show you the blood trailing process, but what I can say about blood trailing is take your time. Even though we saw the blood while he was running, sometimes that doesn't mean you're gonna see a lot of it while you're actually trailing. Look at right there.
Right here's where the hog was laying.
Look.
Gabe, if you want to show him where we shot him from the tree right there.
He shot him from them 2 cabbage trees. Schwap, right there.
There's already a blood trail. You see it coming through the grass?
Oh my goodness. Look for the arrow, Jake. How about that wind?
Hey.
Jake, that right there was a shot to be super proud of.
Another dead cow.
I thought I seen him go down right in here.
He said he saw him make it all the way to that head, but are you still on blood?
Oh yeah, that's right here.
Oh my goodness.
They got him.
Look at that right there. Jake, that was some impressive shooting. Look at that big joker. Son, what y'all think about that?
Big old razorback boar, I'd say, buddy.
Scary.
Uh-huh.
Did you think he was gonna hit him?
Absolutely. Old Jakester right here's a sniper.
Old snipe.
Never doubted him. And then Luke's got a cow head.
Nice, Luke. Leave it to Luke to come out. Come here and show the camera.
I got a big cow.
Take your weapon,
Oh,
Jake.
whatever.
You got some pretty good withers on him.
Oh, he does.
Is that a T-Rex?
Look at that.
What do you think?
Wow, that one side's big.
I'll pay someone $20 to cut those off on me.
20 bucks. Son, that's your job now.
Alrighty.
The fun is just beginning. That's the crazy thing. Y'all just stay tuned.
When I tell you that was an incredible shot, trust me when I say it was. So there was a 20-mile-an-hour crosswind coming from our right going to our left. Jake had nothing to lean on. He just had to man up and make that shot. It was exactly 40 yards. The hog went about, I don't know, 240 yards, which I don't know how he made it that far because he didn't have any liquids in him left when he stopped running. Now to Luke. Luke's 6 years old and said out of nowhere he wanted to shoot a hog. So we got back on the buggy and we found a sow hog that's actually feeding right down the road. The wind was blowing so hard that she actually just never looked up and saw us coming on that giant buggy. Now the hogs are used to ranchers driving by them, buggies driving by them, so it's not really out of the ordinary that she allowed us. Now if there wasn't any wind, I don't think she would have done that. But fortunately for Luke, she lets us drive right up to her about 40, 50, 60 yards, I think maybe.
circle's right in the middle of it? Right dead in the center? You sure?
Wait till he turns broadside.
Shoot him as soon as you're ready. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. That thing ain't going nowhere.
Got him.
Way to go, Luke.
Luke, give me 5, brother. Good
Luke.
job, buddy.
Luke, turn around, Luke.
Give me a high
I
five.
shot him.
Shake my hand. Shake my hand. Good shot, brother.
Down right there.
Good job, Luke.
8
Smoking.
yards.
Woo.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
We'll skin out. What are you waiting on? Go. Go get it. Go. 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 I'll race you through.
It's already dead.
Good job, buddy. Smoke.
Luke, look at that.
I shot him right in the good spot.
Right in the good spot, he said, Jake. Go give your brother a hug and tell him good job.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Over, I shot him right in the middle.
Come here, little man. Good shot.
You only get one first.
Practice that. Exactly what you planned on, huh?
Son, what do you think?
It's so cool.
You made a very good shot.
I know most grown men that can't make a shot like that.
Yeah.
I know some of y'all might think that killing an animal is not something to be proud of, but don't forget our ancestors. That's how they survived, and it's a tradition that I don't want to let go away with my kids, and hopefully their kids will continue to do it forever as well. Before we get to Big Ed's Butcher though, I need to tell you a little bit more about Simply Safe. Simply Safe is literally serious home security made simpler. They have cameras inside the house, outside the house, doorbell cameras, fire alarms, window security systems, everything you need to be able to have that sense of security when you're out of town, like we were last weekend on this hunt. I can leave with all my toys out. I can watch them with a live monitor. I have that pure sense of I don't need to panic, because at any given time I can look on my phone and see all of my stuff. So I really highly suggest checking out Simply Safe. Save 20% on your Simply Safe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan and get your first month free. Visit simplysafe.com/Bluegabe to learn more.
And just like that, we're here. Big Ed's Butcher Shop. I've known him pretty much my entire life. This dude is the real deal. Let's go inside and watch what he does with this hog, because I'm super interested. I've actually never been in here and watched this process. Yeah, we went in the do not enter sign. Ah, freezing in here. All right, y'all, this is my gator cooler. This is what we brought the hog in. Typically, if I was a normal customer, it wouldn't be in this. It would be in his totes that are sanitary. Everything's perfectly clean. But for this video, I had to show you that this is the bar. This is Big Ed himself.
How you doing?
So he's actually working on a ham. He's cutting all the fat off right now. But my main goal to show you all in this video is what you can do with the shoulder. You threw that at me on purpose?
Yep.
What you can do with the shoulder, because a lot of people, to them, it's not the best cut of meat. But what he's gonna do with this, he's gonna turn it into the best cut of meat.
Just take and trim the fat off of it. And the shoulder's like a hidden gem. Everybody wants to make sausage and stuff, but the shoulder steaks are really good to eat off of here.
Now, if you notice, he's throwing some of the stuff to the right, that's the garbage, and then he's throwing some of the stuff to the left, which is the sausage trimming box. Like anything that has a little bit of meat in it, it's gonna go in here, and then later be turned into sausage. So other than just fat, he's not wasting anything. And yes, there's gonna be some banging and clanking.
That's typically all you get off of it. Take them.
Dang, that was pretty cool. We need to get one of them.
I'm even curious what you're about to do. What is that little thing?
All right, this is a scraper that gets the bone dust off. See the bone dust? Takes it off of there. And we pack them into packages.
If you've never ate a shoulder steak, you are totally missing out. Everybody thinks pork chops, which is the top part, the tenderloin, the back strap of a hog. A pork shoulder steak is as good as anything you'll ever eat.
Yeah, it's full of flavor.
Super simple too. You just throw it on the grill. You can deep fry it. You can pan fry it. Literally do anything with it. Now, if you are anywhere in the South Florida area and you kill a hog or a deer, or you have a 4-H hog, or if you have a cow that you want butchered, Ed will do anything. He'll come. Do you go to the place and pick it up?
No, they bring everything here. And
How am I supposed to bring a cow here?
Well,
in the back of the truck?
back of the truck, get it here as fast as you can. I only take cows a certain time of the year because during deer season we're super busy.
How many deer a year do you do?
A couple thousand.
A couple thousand?
Yeah.
Heck, I only killed 3 this year.
Well, you better get with it. So
How many can you do, and this isn't tooting his horn, this is what he's done his whole life. How many deer and hogs can you do in a day properly by yourself?
by myself, I do 30 to 50 a day. That's packaged, that's done, just like what I'm doing right now. I start at midnight and I get home at 6 p.m. every day.
You guys want to talk about work ethic? He gets here at midnight and will sometimes stay until dark.
This is how we package these off right here, and then we'll take them to the vacuum packer. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's just show them the whole process real quick.
All right, where is this?
What do you do with this chunk?
But that chunk's going to come out to be sausage meat. Or if you wanted some stew meat or something out.
Oh, I was about to say that'd be a chunk of stew.
Oh.
So this is a 40-second interval. These machines do 10 packs a minute. So you can rock and roll with them.
This one costs a little bit more than we promote on our channel. What's that, about $2,000 a unit?
3,800.
Damn.
It sucks the air out of the entire capsule, right?
Yep.
Which then sucks it out of the meat. Here it goes.
Boom.
And you missed it.
That wasn't it?
I thought it was it, but it wasn't
You
it.
know, then it sucks the air out and it's done.
You can't get any prettier at a grocery store. This is a hog that grew up eating corn, acorns, grass, in the wild, no hormones, nothing that's gonna hurt us, and it's gonna feed our family for a long time, because that's 2 beautiful little packages off of a tiny chunk of the shoulder. He's now gonna do the same thing with a ham. And we're gonna sit here, turn the camera off. Well, not turned off. We're gonna film some B-roll because I wanna watch him make sausage. Because my mom went to the grocery store the other day. Hamburger meat now is $10 a pound. That's how bad the inflation is in the United States. We can go kill 4 or 5 of these hogs, whatever, a couple $100, pay him his fees, and still be way ahead. We won't have to buy meat all year long. So I actually wanna learn this process.
There you go, Gabriel.
You guys, if I could have filmed the hunt that happened with this hog, it would have broke the internet. Imagine me driving, Luke right next to me, Lowell right next to him, and in the back seat was Kelly and Jake. And we're just driving through the pasture. Kelly loves animals in general. She loves just watching wildlife. So when she sees a herd of cows, she's looking at the cows. When I see a herd of cows and I see something that isn't a cow, I'm like, game on. So I drive through these cows, and when this bar hog jumped, Lowell was actually trying to shoot him with a rifle. Well, I had my John Wayne 22 Magnum pistol in the glove box. I pulled it out running wide open. I'm driving with my right hand just like, hi-yow. Shot him, killed him with a 22 Magnum. That's what I'm talking about.
Should we go put it
Yeah,
in?
come here, no, let's show him this jar. Come here real quick.
Put it in his little collector's jar.
Here, just say that I'm gonna put it right on the table. Y'all look at this. God, he could scrap this.
Yeah, that's heavy.
That's all chunks of lead. Dang it, I ain't opened in a while. Oh, this must be the newer one. Yeah, that's all chunks of lead that's came out of animals. So there's mine. Look at that. So you can see right here, this is double-aught buck. And in South Florida, or pretty much all of Florida and South Georgia, we run deer with dogs. We actually hunt them with dogs and chase them with swamp buggies and shoot them with double-aught buck. That's why there's so much of it in there. If you were up north and anywhere in the Northeast at a butcher shop, you wouldn't see any double lot buck. You'd see big slugs. And then they got this.
Oof. That's a lot of money in broadheads.
You ain't kidding. That's all that he's pulled out of chunks of meat that people's brought here. It's pretty cool. All right, we will see y'all at the house. We're gonna sit here, make some sausage. He's gonna show us how to make his chorizo. We're gonna film all of it for future videos, so when we are cooking other chunks of this bar hog and other videos, I can show you that. Right now though, we're fitting to bust up out of here. Look at him, look. Do we look alike?
The deer butt.
The deer butt. Hey, we'll see y'all at the house. We're gonna pick the boys up from school. We're gonna show y'all a whole bunch more awesome hog hunting footage in this video. Then we're gonna cook some of the pork you just watch us cut. See y'all at the house. All right, y'all, I got bad news. The boys aren't here. I forgot that today Jake had a vet appointment for his hog that he's showing in 4-H in a couple days. So he's with his mom. That's where they keep the hog. No harm, no foul. They wish they could be here. They'll be here tomorrow, and we're going hunting all weekend. Check out these pork steaks. Y'all watch us cut them, and now you're about to watch us cook them. And I'm not cutting any corners. I'm showing y'all the entire process. This is a meal that I used to cook and eat with my mom growing up as a child all the time. They leave the bone in, and that's one of the best parts to me. Just adds flavor and adds something for you to chew on while you're sitting there gnawing at the bone. Now it's just Kelly and I, so I'm not cooking a ton. We're actually going out to Mr. Trevor's hunting camp this weekend, and we're gonna do a bunch more cooking out there. We made some chorizo sausage today. We made all kinds of awesome treats there at Big Ed's. And the coolest thing about Big Ed is when you bring him an animal, you get your animal back. Like when he starts one like our bar hog, he does the entire process, puts it away, and gets another one. And he does 30 a day, sometimes up to 50. So first thing I got is just some yellow squash. I'm not gonna season it. I'm putting it in just a couple tablespoons of grease. This is used fish grease, grease that I fried fish in. Not seasoning it because it's real dry. Once it starts to cook, I'll then add some seasonings to it. I can literally smell this and it brings me back to my mom making dinner when we were kids. Kelly and I tend to cut it up in cubes and make it that way, but my mom always made it round, just like that. So for the meat, we're going with some Lowry's garlic salt. Just like so. I'm gonna flip it, and then I'm gonna add some Everglades Original on the bottom. I'm not a huge Everglades fan, but I do love it on pork, especially ribs. Just like so. I'm gonna take it in just regular flour. Toss it around. And then this right here, that's just regular milk. I'm gonna take 2 eggs from Kelly's chickens in the backyard. And no, I haven't ate them yet, even though them destroying the yard has made me want to eat them a couple times. But I'd probably be sleeping on the couch if I did. I typically would use buttermilk, but I didn't have it, and this will work just as good. You can hear them squash cooking. Now, while we were in there with Big Ed, you gotta realize that he sort of closed down shop so we could come in there and film. He typically wears gloves. He's the most sanitary person ever, but today making that video, he made an exception because it was just us. Into the buttermilk, is what I'm gonna call it, but it's really just flour and egg. I'm gonna repeat the process with all 4. So now that my squash is cooked on one side, I'm gonna add just some Everglades Original, just like I did on the pork. The smell from that squash is absolutely amazing. Here we go. Got some white rice here, and when I get done making these pork chops, I'm gonna make some brown gravy. All you southerners right now are licking y'all's lips. going from the flour to the egg and milk and back into the flour will just give it that crunchy flakiness that we're looking for. Look how it's already starting to crisp up around the edges. Now we do not want to overcook this at all, just like we don't want to overcook the squash. Probably another minute and it'll be good. So I want to talk about the hunt a little bit more, and I want to give a huge shout out to our friend Buddy, who's Robert Spatula, him and his wife Stephanie. When we're there at their camp, they treat us like we're family. Nothing more, nothing less. And they are so amazing with our kids. And they actually had their kids there this weekend, and it was such a blessing. They've got 2 little girls and a brand new baby boy. It's a huge shout out, Mr. Buddy. Thank you very much. Lowell, Brian Prescott, Kelly, we all had a blast working together and just having such an enjoyable time. We actually brought the hog dogs, and if you follow along, you know that because I did put a little sneak peek of that in there.
Come here. Good boy. Sit down. Sit. High five.
That's what I'm talking about, Toby. High five.
Well-trained dog.
And it's something that's really hard for me to put in very many YouTube videos just because it's so controversial. When we turn those dogs loose, they could literally die when they run in there, and that's the price that they pay. They love it. That's what dogs were designed to do. Luckily, none of ours even got hurt, but they could have. And hogs are nothing to play with. That's how I grew up, with hog hunting with dogs, and there's nothing that I like more than watching those dogs like that work. But I'm not showing it on YouTube. It's something that really doesn't financially or morally help me gain in any way. But what we will show you right now while this food's cooking is Mr. Lowell Roberts. You guys got to follow him on Instagram, and I'm going to put it right here, right now. Go check him out on Instagram. He's probably one of the toughest grown men I've ever met in my life, and is the most fearless human ever. So we're on my new side-by-side going across the pasture, and I'm going to start it like right in the middle of the race because I just barely had time to get the GoPro on. There's literally like 20 hogs. There's 3 or 4 big ones and a bunch of shoats, which is like anything from a pig up to about 40 pounds. And we're in hot pursuit. And y'all just watch what Mr. Lowell does. Look at the big one in the back.
Run him over, Dad.
Hold on.
Are we gonna get him?
But can y'all smell that? Now, that hog that he caught was not hurt in any way, shape, or form, and we actually turned her right back loose and then caught her the next day. And we put them in big pens and transported them off the property, so they can't do damage there, but there are some other people who like to have more on their property, so we just transported them. That's all we did. Now right here, what I have is a grease rack. When these are done, I'm going to put them on here, and that will allow them to crisp and firm up, and any excess grease drop into the bottom of the pan. These are my new Danko tongs. Look at that, though. If you watch my last video, you see that Danko has always made these pliers, but they came out with an awesome new kit. Tongs, my 7-inch Pro Series, and a spatula. And they've always had this 3-piece kit. You can get them at dankopliers.com, and they are very affordable, I promise you, and very, very sharp. Tread lightly, or you'll end up with a big, massive scar like that. That squash, I'm so excited. We'll see y'all at the table in just a minute. All right, so yep, I lied. I told you I was gonna show you the complete process, and I haven't showed you how to make the gravy, so I gotta do that now. I'm dumping about 90% of that grease out that I cooked with, and I'm just leaving a little bit. This is my kids' favorite part of the meal. I'm gonna take my flour, the same flour that I cooked with. I'm gonna start sprinkling it in lightly. No more than about a 1/4 cup. Probably about that much. Start stirring it in. In Louisiana, they would call it a roux. Here in South Florida, we call it a gravy.
A gravy.
A gravy. In this measuring cup right here, I've got about a cup of water and a cup of milk. You actually got to make sure your temperature's up hot. Doesn't seem like it's hot right now because it's cooking all that grease into that flour. And this isn't your healthiest meal ever. Kelly's got me eating healthy, but not all the time. This is the important part. Pay attention. I'm going to slowly start pouring it. I don't really try to season it too much while I'm making it at this point. A lot of the seasoning from the meat's already in there, and once I'm done and I got it to the texture I want it, then I can add what seasonings I need. If you poured all this liquid in at one time, it would be a pain in the butt to try to get it right. And use a wooden spoon so you won't scratch your pan. Or a wooden spatula, or whatever you call this thing. A flat, blunt object.
That's wood.
What'd I say?
I just said that's wood.
Yeah, just wood. Keep stirring. I've got my heat up. This liquid's cold, so actually it's actually cooling it down. I think I need about that much. Now you can start stirring it. And as it gets up to temperature, you can start turning the heat back down. It'll actually take anything that's stuck to the pan and remove it as well. A little bit of salt and a little bit of Everglades, not much. Not like so. It'll really start to thicken up once it gets to temperature. I don't want it to boil again at this point. I'll turn it down to low and just let it simmer. I actually like to cook my rice and let it sit for a little while before I serve it. Now you can take the gravy and either put it over the meat or put it over the rice. My family likes putting it over the rice. Leave a comment below if you enjoy these longer videos. We're sort of torn between how long we need to make them. Some people like them really long. Some people rather have them short. I like them about 25 minutes long myself. Look at that. All I got to do is add the squash.
I'm going in.
You think you're going in before me, huh?
I already
Y'all,
have
we don't
my
need
rice.
knives and forks. No hormones, no steroids.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the batter.
Look at this. Come here. Get up here.
Redneck.
Come here. Redneck, come here. Get up here.
Wait a minute.
Come on. Come on. He thought we weren't going to give him some. Y'all, we're going to sit here and enjoy this amazing meal. Kelly's editing a chicken video. She made some crazy big coop for her chickens and cooked some, what kind of mushrooms?
Lion's mane.
He's not supposed to eat it at the table, Redneck. Get.
That's why he was so hesitant on coming up. He's like, I don't know.
Y'all, I wish you were here to taste it. That's all I can tell you. I hope you like this video. We literally tried to show you as much as we could. Fingers crossed it doesn't get demonetized. I'm sort of iffy on the part with Luke shooting just because for some reason our world's turned into a world where a lot of people don't like kids shooting guns. It baffles me. That's how my dad taught us. I've never hurt a soul. I don't know. Thanks for watching though. Thanks for subscribing. I
like the rice.
But like Jake always says, it's definitely time to get up out of here and get the heck out of shape. See y'all.